Okay. I think we are live. I think. Let me see here. Alright. Okie dokie. Alrighty, righty. So, first time doing this live thing, and I figured while doing it, I am going to animate. And it's going to be an animation of none other than Blacktail. I feel like Bob Ross right now for some reason, just the way I'm talking. Okay. Alrighty. I just want to make sure that I get the size of the pen is, because I don't remember the size I used. So let's see if I could get it somewhat exact. Maybe it was like 3. That seems about right. Just so it matches up and doesn't look weird. Okay. Okie dokie. I have to sign into chat. Oh, no, I have to sign into chat. Yeah. Completely new to me. Hold on. Let me see. Pause that. All right. Continue. Oh, I gotta save a passkey. Alright. So far I got some of the inking done on these. And now I'm going to work on this one. So this is mainly like when I did the whatchamacallit, the laughing Blacktail animation that I did whenever that was. Oops. Oh. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. Got his little nose over here. I always feel like I have to do this a few times because it's like getting these straight lines is always a pain in the neck. Whew. Alright. Just erase that line over here. We don't want that. Maybe I'm just a perfectionist. There we go, that little tooth. Alright. Get this here. Right, his little white mask. Just gotta get that. Oops. Line aligned right there. Okay. Oops. Okay. You know what, too? Hold on. Okay. And then we're gonna do his mane. I feel like for some reason the inking, the outlining part is always the more pain in the ass part of the entire animation process. Like drawing is one thing because it doesn't have to be perfect. But it's like, yeah, I gotta get those outlines just right. And then everything else kind of comes together. Ooh, shoot. Get his shoulders. And got his other shoulder. And lower lip. And we got that frame done. Let's see. So this is the lower one. So the only thing that changes is his mouth. So for this frame, I'm only going to focus on his mouth. So I'm going to just get rid of this here. Oop, wait, wrong. Wrong layer. There. You know what? Let me see too if I could put music on or something. I don't know why I always need background noise or something. Otherwise, it's just let's see what we could do. Oh, here we go. Audio library. We can get like something jazzy. Nah. These are like too loud. Hold on, let me lower this. Oh, here. Right, maybe this is good. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I found the song I want to put. Why, hello, wannabe. Oh my gosh, I can't say. Sorry, but hi. My reading skills are poor, but hello, welcome. You just came in time. I'm looking for music. And I think I found one. Let me see. Again, all new to this, so be patient with me as I try to figure out how to put the music on to the thing. Okay. Da, 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 da. And then we will continue with the animating. as you can see, I am animating Blacktail. Because you might have noticed I did Blacktail. I had a post of him where it was just the, excuse me, sorry, that's my stupid microphone. I need to get a better microphone. So now I'm just doing the outlining and coloring because I kind of want to get it done. Let me see. So this is the scene. Let's see if I could add music. I'll try with media source. I think that's it. Oh boy. Okie dokie. I don't know. Is there any music on? I don't know if I did it. There should be some kind of music playing in the background, but for some reason I don't hear it on my end. Okay, back to this. All right, so his little mouth. Yeah. So you got like the most pain in the neck part of animating, the outlining. Because if it doesn't feel right, it's just constantly erasing and starting over, and you know. Right. And it's just like frame by frame by frame. So the next frame, in this case, oops, didn't mean to draw that outline there. Come on, thing. Alright. I just have to, there we go. Frame, at least it's a little easier, just the mouth and the shoulders. So I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, Blacktail. For this particular, this particular animation, I just felt the need to really do because Blacktail's like one of my, key characters. He's like very important character out of all my characters. I created him like since I was 10. I think that's when Blacktail was born, and then he just kind of grew from there. So, and I've always wanted to get better at animating, you know, try to make things a little more fluid if I can. So the best way to do it is practicing, and that's mainly why I've been doing this animation. I did another one with my other character who is in the same series as Blacktail. Her name is Mars. So that was like another practice, but I had to definitely like go through the whole rigmarole of just like this, the sketching, the inking, outlining, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, all that fun stuff. Hello, hello. I'm just gonna say Ruby because I'm just like bad at reading the, sorry, hitting the mic again, the names. But welcome. We're drawing Blacktail. Right now I'm just like up to the outlining. So I started this like way back, and then I put it down for a while. I'm like, you know what? I don't like doing something and then not finishing it. So I'm just, you know, returning to this animation. Let me just make sure that, yeah, so as you can see, I have it in different layers. So every now and then I have to check back the layer to see that I'm, you know, outlining it correctly. But in this case, I am just animating the mouth and the shoulders, because in this animation, he's basically laughing. I could even show you guys if you hadn't seen the animation before. I know I posted, I think, oh my gosh, I keep hitting my mic, I apologize. Let me see here. Got his nose. So yeah, it's just, it seems like for these few frames, it's just his mouth and his shoulders, so that's good. That makes my job a little easy, and then probably the next few frames there's going to be a lot more movement, so then it's going to just be like doing the whole thing. It just takes so much time, because, oh my god, what did I do? Just getting those outlines perfect. Ugh, it is too much. It is way too much. And then usually there's like coloring and stuff. The coloring is usually easy. Unless it's like with my Feather Boo Boos animation, you know, then you add like a little extra with the textures and stuff that adds more complexity to it. But Blacktail's a little more simple. It's just his hair, and in this case it's just from his head to the chest, so it's not even the whole body. Let's see. Okay, just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Oh, you know what? Let me see. So every now and then too, I just want to look and see how this looks. So if I play this. Seems to work just fine. Okay. Alrighty. So actually, you know what I can do? Because I think this last frame here, is it the same? Nah, probably not. Okay, never mind. Sometimes also what's great about animating is you could use like the same frames and just kind of copy and paste here and there, especially since he's laughing. Oh, I just noticed a little something here that I have to touch up. This little mane here has to be touched up. But yeah, you can always use like repeat frames, and that always helps. Oops. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. Let's see here. So now to his mouth. Okay. And oh, always remember to save too. The program I'm using right now is Krita. And as much as I do love it, it does have a lovely tendency sometimes of crashing. And I have had instances where I would spend a good amount of time animating and forget to save, and then have the joyous thing of having it crash and having to start all over. as you can see, with how much time it takes just to do frame by frame, and then to have like half an hour to an hour working on something just to have it crash is never fun. So, and I wouldn't even just say with Krita, I would say, you know, any program, if you're animating something, just always save. When I was a kid, I used to, when I didn't have these programs and never use these programs, I tried to learn animating on my own. Everything that I do is all self-learned. And I used to animate with, believe it or not, Paint, Microsoft Paint, Photo Impression, which was like a knockoff of Photoshop, and back in the day, Windows Movie Maker, which doesn't exist anymore, sadly. And I used those three programs like when I was a teenager to animate. And I remember I was a big fan of Monty Python. I made an animation once and it just got lost and I was so upset. I was trying to find all sorts of programs to try to recover it. Oh god. It's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling if you know, lose a lot of work. Alright, so let's see where I am. So again, I'm going to save. Actually looks like these frames are the same, so this makes it a little easy for me because then what I can do is I can actually possibly copy and paste some of these. I'm just gonna make sure I have the right ones. Okay, so that's that one. Like this one. Nope, it's not that one. Can't be this one. Oh, it has to be this one. I think it was this one. Oh, let's see. Copy. Paste this frame over. Yep, there it is. And then this one is definitely this one. Beautiful. Haha, makes my life a little easier. Ha! Makes my life easy. This one might be this one. Hold on. Just putting the pieces of a puzzle together. No, it's not that one. So it has to be this one. This one looks completely different, so let me actually redraw this one. Oh my goodness. Keep whacking my mic. I'm such a huge klutz. Up here. Oh, wait, no. Oh, got this one here. Okay. Oh, no. Why are you doing this, Krita? Why won't you let me draw the outline I need to draw? Thank you. And I'm going to erase this here. also noticed, so I think also, see, this is me making a stupid mistake. I also noticed that in these frames, actually his chest goes up and down, which makes sense because if he's laughing, not only are his shoulders moving, but it would make sense that the chest would move up and down. So actually, let me edit that. So yeah, that's another thing too. Sometimes it's always good to like look back and see if there's any inconsistencies to fix, because you don't want to eventually be doing so much and then by the time you get to the point of coloring it, that you notice all those inconsistencies, and then it's just going to be harder to fix everything. Oops. Alright. And then let me fix this over here. Oops. Oh my. So let's do that. Oh, oops, that's the eraser tool. I don't want that. As you guys are watching too, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask. I don't know if any of you guys are into animating or animators yourselves, or just here to see how it's done. I don't know. So far, I like Krita. One particular program I do want to kind of play around with, and I just haven't. Why do I keep doing that? I definitely want to like try Blender. I think it's called Blender. I know it's a lot of folks play around with Blender, and with that, I think you could do like 3D animating, which I've always been very curious about, even though I've been more of a 2D animation person. But I was always curious about it, like to play around with it. I think with Blender you could do 2D too, I'm not sure, but maybe one day, I don't know. I used to use, besides the photo impression and the paint and all that, but I used to use, what was it, Flip-a-Clip, after photo impression, after paint. Many years later, when I returned to animating, because I hadn't done it for a long time, I was like, you know, there's so many apps on the phone, maybe there's an app for animating, and I found Flip-a-Clip, and there's actually a few animations I made a long time ago on YouTube that are all Flip-a-Clip. I think one of them, if you look up, what's it called? Scooby-Doo is Sad. Let me look up the name. I forgot. Or Scooby-Doo Feels Bad. I think that's what it's called. That was my first Scooby-Doo animation on YouTube, all done on Flip-A-Clip. On my phone, just my finger. Now, obviously, I'm doing it on the computer. I have the special pen. Makes my life a lot easier. And then I could actually add more details and stuff. Flip-A-Clip's very limited. Not to mention, I got pretty aggravated at Flip-A-Clip. At one point, I would say if you want to start out animating and try Flip-A-Clip, great, but I wouldn't stick with Flip-A-Clip, especially if you purchase it, because that's what happened. They kind of screwed me over with that. I think way back when I think it was like $5 and you got all the features. So I got all the features and I was able to make all these animations, and then I don't know if they changed something, or each feature was a separate cost, but then suddenly out of the blue I didn't have the features anymore. And I remember contacting Flip-A-Clip and they didn't help me, and it kind of came down to the fact that I would have to pay all this stuff after I had already paid them for everything I unlocked. And I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go find another program, and now I'm on Krita. Now I'm using Krita, and so far I'm very happy with it. Oops. I didn't adjust the shoulder in this frame, I think I'm gonna still adjust it and see how that might look actually. Hello, April. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah. Inking and talking. Inking and chatting. Currently working on Blacktail. And using Krita. And oh, actually, I forgot to save. I was saying earlier, make sure to save because it would stink to lose anything. Yeah, but it's like, ugh, I love animating, but it is such a long process. It takes a long time. There has to be a better way. This is one of my shorter animations too. I definitely plan to do some more kind of like episode-y. Oops, I actually forgot to fill this in this frame. Oh no. Yeah, I plan to do some more, hopefully some more like series type things. Like I know I did the Scooby Apocalypse one just recently. I did the Feather Boo Boos. And I keep hitting my mic. Oh my god. I gotta stop doing that. I know I mentioned I want to do a Hey Arnold one. And I definitely want to do a remake of I did a Blacktail and Mars animation way back in the day, which was on which I actually did on Flip-A-Clip. but now things come out a lot nicer on Krita, and I've been doing this for a while, so I'm just like, you know what, let me redo it. Try to make it look a little nicer and continue with the series. Because, like, all based off a webcomic I did. And I thought, hey, I'm animating, so I might as well just animate the webcomic. That should be fun. I see what I did here. Okay. And I gotta get his shoulders back up. Yeah, I'm trying to create the illusion of him laughing. I don't know how well I'm doing with that. Hopefully I'm doing okay. Yeah, this particular animation is just practice, just to get better at it. But yeah, feel free if you guys have any questions about anything. I don't know if you guys animate yourselves or you just like animation in general. If you're like me, big cartoon lover. I mean, I feel like you have to really love cartoons to make cartoons, but right? Or vice versa. I don't know. I've also definitely been rehashing a lot of my nostalgia for a lot of the old cartoons that I used to watch. I know in one of my older videos I talked about Me TV Tunes. I've been really obsessed with that channel. I don't know if this is... Let me make sure this even looks good. I don't know if moving those shoulders is... Let me see. Well, maybe not bad. I don't know. Yeah, I think it works. I think I should move these shoulders up then. Just keep the shoulders moving. There we go. But yeah. Highly recommend if Me TV Tunes. It's like on TV. Like one of those satellite networks. But every morning I watch, what is it? The Real Ghostbusters. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my god, I can't say words. And the animated Beetlejuice show. And then, of course, they have, like, all the old Hanna-Barbera stuff. Like, in the middle of the day, they play Woody Woodpecker, Heckle and Jekyll. What else? It's, like, all old stuff. Popeye. The Super Friends, which for some reason, every time I watch that, just makes me think of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and SpongeBob is definitely like a spoof of Super Friends for sure. But I never really watched Super Friends much, and then watching it now, I'm just like, yep, this is, I could see where they got it from. It gives the Super Friends vibes. Let's see here. Yeah, cartoons back then were cheesy, don't get me wrong, but, you know, they give good memories. They have good memories to them. And of course, I can't forget all the Nickelodeon stuff. That stuff actually I see a lot on Pluto TV. Another but they'll play like Rugrats, Hey Arnold, SpongeBob. I think they play the Loud House. That is actually the one Nickelodeon thing I've never watched, and I think I think I need to. And apparently, I don't know if it's a new thing or it's actually old, but like they have, not only have I never watched the Loud House, but apparently they did a Loud House live action, so it's actually like real actors. Not sure how good that's gonna be, considering I remember when they did that with the Fairly Odd Parents, and I think I watched like a little bit of the live action one, and it was just so bizarre. And sometimes I feel like some things were just kind of left alone. If it's good as an animation, leave it as an animation. I don't know. Okay, this can go here. Let's see. And then, oh, speaking of live action, they're doing another live action Scooby-Doo. I don't know if you guys heard about that or psyched about it or thoughts about that. I'm a little on the fence, but you know, I'm also kind of that, you know, we'll just have to see how it goes, you know, give it a chance before, you know, we start thinking negatively. But see, I think I turned, give it a shot, we'll see how it looks. Did with this one is I just took this and just turned it like that and just edited it a little bit. Oops. Oh my gosh, I can't. I think my pen might need new batteries. Alright, so this should be fine. Of it looks like his shoulders down and his chest is more inward, so that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see if that works, if that makes it look okay. Oh my goodness gracious. explain it. Hoping at least, let me see, got a lot of frames. Ah, oh gosh. Hopefully next week maybe I'll have this done. That's the thing, you know, with these things, it's like I have to work on it like little by little each day. Just to get it finished. That's why even like for the ones that are more like a series that I make, probably are not going to have that super duper fluidity to them that I just playing around with here, because it would just take way too long. It wouldn't be done in time. This up. Looks like okay. Just gotta move them a little more. Shoulders are lower, even in this one. Chest is in. Okay. Oops, I pasted it wrong. I pasted it as a separate thing. Much better. Haha, there it is. Perfecto. And I just gotta fix the shoulders on the mouth again. If this thing crashes on me. Let's see. Alright. Not bad. Typical of Blacktail. That evil little laugh. That mischievous little thing. He's a little mischievous guy. Don't let his cuteness fool you. Oh gosh, I keep doing that. Just fix that. Just fix that. I don't like how that came out. Line it up just right. Oh. Guy. Little mischievous Blacktail. Don't let him get a hold of your snacks. In fact, maybe that's why he's laughing. He's definitely not up to any good. Paste into active layer. There we go. I'm just gonna tilt this just a little more. Because he's tilting his head back because he's really got to get that, you know, crazy laugh going. Shoulders here. assume it'll laugh. There's a lot of inhaling and exhaling going on there, so I figured the chest has to really go up and down if he's doing like a huge laugh. So now it looks like, unlike the other frames, I was only just adjusting his mount and shoulders. It looks like I'm back to now just having to redraw the whole thing, so, because it's just everything. His eyes are open, his mouth is open a certain way, so I'm just gonna draw the whole thing. Get his eyes over here. Eyes. And I guess like the little pupils. And then eventually when I color it in, I'll add like maybe a little shine of light in the eye just for some more depth. I could even shade this, but it's a little more difficult because he's oh no, what happened to the... Alright, you know what, I'm just gonna put the... Oops. He's got that little crown. That little tuft of hair that looks like a little crown on his head. There he is. This little mask, which makes him almost look like a raccoon. Even though he's not a raccoon. Get his shoulders in here. I'm even wondering if I should take a break from this. If I do take a break from animating and you guys want to see me draw something else, just let me know. Because after a while, I will admit this gets tedious. I'm up to drawing something else if need be. And I'm gonna save this again. Alright. Let me see. Yeah, it takes so much time. And you know what it is? It's tough because it's a lot of times when people do animations, it's like a team. But everything I'm always doing on my own. So it just takes even more time. And it takes, when you have a team, it still takes a lot of time. But yeah, when you're doing it by yourself, forget it. It's like, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. But it's fun work. Can't complain. Not complaining. Oops. Oh, that's why it won't let me draw it, because I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, and his eyes are slightly opening. The good thing too about Blacktail is he is a little easier to animate because he's a little simpler in design. I think when I did Mars, it was a lot more to it. Actually, I'm trying to think which was the most complicated thing to animate. My guess, that was a long time ago. There was like an animation I did of Finn and Jake dressed up as Gears from the Gears of War game. And all I could think is the armor. Like having the armor on them, maybe that was like a pain in the neck. That took a bit of time. Like for that one, I didn't draw the armor like each time for every frame. I think I had to, but I had to like adjust it on them a certain way every time they moved. And just to do that initial drawing of the armor, there's just so much detail. That's all I could think of. Reminds me, I need to definitely watch. I used to watch Adventure Time all the time. But I haven't watched, what is it? Cake and Fiona? Like the Adventures of Cake and Fiona? I don't know if they're like on their second season now, but I've been curious about it. It looks very interesting. Watch it. That, and I have to watch Primal. Actually, I think Primal is on the top of my list. Because I watched the first 2 seasons, and they were really good. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Primal. And if you have, let me know what you think about it. Or if you want to see it. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching it because it's pretty good. give anything away. In case anybody hasn't watched it. But yeah. I think the guy who created Genji Tartakovsky, who did what did he do? I think he also did like Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack. Don't get me wrong, I love Dexter's Lab, but when you watch like Primal, or when he did the more mature version of Samurai Jack, when he brought Samurai Jack, but it was like Adult Swim Samurai Jack, so he was able to make it more mature. You could tell he's definitely someone who I think has a passion for creating adult cartoons. Like, he made all these whatchamacallit, these you know, cute cartoons like Dexter and everything, but I don't know, when you see like Primal and the newer Samurai Jack he did, like, there's just, you could tell, I don't know, like there's some kind of more passion behind it. Like, that's really, it just took that many years for him to be able to animate and create things, I think, the way that I think was more fitting for him to do more adult content. And, oh, what was it too? I think I also remember he was supposed to also, I know he did Hotel Transylvania, and maybe I'm the odd man out. I was not a big fan of Hotel Transylvania. I mean, it was a cute movie, but it wasn't like one of those things that I'm like, oh, I have to completely rewatch this. Yeah, I just kind of like, nah, I like Dexter's Lab better. I mean, I guess the premise of Hotel Transylvania was good, but I don't know why. Maybe it was, I hate to say it, like, because I guess he has a specific way of animating, at least in his older stuff, where it's like, it's almost, it's like so, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the movement of the characters, they move in a certain way, I think, like, for humor. Like, very quick movements, just out of nowhere kind of thing. And that seemed to be a style for, like the kid type, like the kid type shows he would do and movies he would do. And Hotel Transylvania had that kind of animation style, and for some reason it always bugged me, only because it looks decent in 2D, but for some reason with the 3D Hotel Transylvania, I didn't care for it much. I don't know, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being picky. But with the Popeye, because I think he was supposed to do Popeye, and there was a trailer that came out way back when, and then they never did the movie, that animation style actually works perfect for Popeye for some reason. Because I guess they were kind of like that in the old Popeye. I don't know. But, too bad. I would have liked to see that. I really do wish they could bring Popeye back. I know now he's, oh, what do they call it? Oh my gosh. I'm having a brain fart. But he's like free range now, like anybody could animate him now. So I don't know. It'd be cool if he made a comeback somehow in that way. I don't know, because I always like Popeye. So it looks like this, like it's just his mouth moving. It's not his shoulders, just his mouth. So this frame is the same as this frame. Wait, hold up. Maybe this goes here, I think. Wait, this goes here? Okay, yeah. Ha ha ha. Actually, I could just copy and paste this whole thing like that. Ha! There we go. Sometimes multi-paste. I do love when there's little shortcuts here and there, as long as it works. If it looks really bad, then it's not a shortcut worth doing. Save it again. So, oops. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's see the progress. Let's see what we got. Hooray! I think so far it's looking okay. I don't know. I'm also that type of person where I'm like, there's always going to be something that's going to bug me. Like, it looks okay, but I don't know, this could be a little better. No. But you know, I guess it's not terrible because then at least I could work on things a little more. Sometimes it's bad to be hard on yourself, but sometimes it's not so bad to be hard on yourself, because if it makes you try to be better at what you do, and that's what I want to do. I want to get better. I've done this for a while, but I could always be better at it. And like I said, this is all self-learned. I never went to an animating school. Nobody actually sat next to me and was like, this is how you animate, Mary. I learned it all on my own. Maybe the most was like back in college. I mostly did fine arts because that's what they offered where I went. But they did have a graphic design class. And what was it? It was mostly Photoshop, which I had already taught myself how to use before I took the class. But when they did teach, they taught some animating, but it was with, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Adobe Flash. I mean, I think that's like, nobody uses it anymore. It's just like non-existent at this point. That was all I learned, at least with animating school-wise. So I'll say that much. But yeah, everything else was just learning on my own. Even with stop motion, which I have to play around with that a little bit more because I have fun with that sometimes. I just don't do it enough. I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's my favorite movie in the world. I think it's always going to be my favorite movie. And when I was a kid, I would go to the library all the time. And, oh gosh, I keep hitting my mic, I'm sorry. And I go to the library all the time, and there was always this book that actually showed how they created The Nightmare Before Christmas, like how they made the puppets, you know, like everything they did. So I would always get that book. And then it got to the point when I got older, I actually purchased the book. So I actually have the book. Maybe one day, if I could find it somewhere, I'll post it up on YouTube on my community posts, just to show you the book I'm talking about. But yeah, I think from that and that alone, I got some ideas of how the stop motion stuff worked. And it's actually one of the, I feel like it's one of those animation processes that, like with 2D animation, they can make it a little easier now. Like there's more technology. What was it? They used to do it with cells and paper, and there was more work to it. It wasn't like done digitally like the way I'm doing it. So you can imagine it was way harder to do. Also, I know like with Disney, they used to do like a lot of rotoscoping. So talk about like now you're doing it by hand and you're rotoscoping, so it's a lot of time. But now everything's digital, and now like Disney and a lot of places just do 3D. And I think 3D is great and everything, but I think it's also easier to do. Who knows, probably cheaper. I would imagine maybe they don't have to hire as many people. I'm not sure, but it's funny because I think with stop motion, there's no easy way to do it. It's always going to be take a picture, move the puppet, take a picture, move the puppet, take a picture. There's no shortcuts. That's why I think it's so rare that there's stop motion. You don't see it so much. That's why there's like only one company I think that I know of that does the stop motion now. Dang it, what's their name? I should do like a galaxy rant on them one day, because they're really cool. They did like Box Trolls and Paranorman and Coraline, and I can't think of their name right now. Actually, let me look it up. I think it's like, I don't know, I'm thinking Lola. I don't think it's Lola. I'm having a moment here. Who created? It'll probably say the name. Oh, it's giving me like the names of directors and stuff. I just want to know the company. Which company made Paranorman? Oh, Laika? I hope I'm saying that right. Laika Studios. Which, by the way, they're making another animated movie. I don't know when it's coming out, but I remember looking it up, like, oh, you know, because I had a moment where I'm like, oh, I have to watch all their stuff. They only made a few movies. I think the last one they made was, dang it. It was about not a Yeti, Bigfoot. The Missing Link. I think it was called The Missing Link. And Hugh Jackman was in it. And it was good. I don't think it was as great as the other movies that they came out with, but yeah, they're coming out with something else. But it takes a long time. Stop motion just takes forever. That's why it's really rare. It's a rare form of animation, but that's why I think I like it so much too, because it's like you never see it often, so it's like it's something you could really appreciate. Because it's rare, and you know a lot of work's been put into it, and they do a really good job. It's like crazy how well those characters move. It almost looks like 3D animation with how well they get those characters to move. You wouldn't even believe that they're using puppets and figurines and stuff. And I think there's like some digital stuff involved, but that I think is more in line with if they use special effects. But yeah, actually, you know what? Just for the hell of it, now I'm curious. What is the new Laika? Help center Laika movie. Okay, Wildwood. Oh, holy crap! Actually, set to be released this year. Ooh, me likey. I am glad to hear this. It says it's their 6th stop motion animation. So I mean, Coraline. When did Coraline come out? Because I think Coraline was their first. That was back in 2009. Damn. Yeah, Coraline was 2009. Oh my god, I feel old. I remember when that came out in theaters. Watching that in the movies. Oh my god. I feel old now. But yeah, imagine their first ever movie, which I believe that was their first, Coraline, 2009, and they only came out with 5 movies since then, and this is their 6th. This is what I mean. It takes a long time. Stop motion is tedious, but it's well worth it in the end. It says it's called Wildwood. Is directed by Travis Knight and based on the best-selling novel by Colin Malloy, illustrated by Carson Ellis. The story follows Prue McKeel and her classmate Curtis Melberg as they venture into a hidden magical forest to rescue Prue's kidnapped infant brother from crows, led by a mysterious woman named Alexandra. Interesting. Well, hopefully, if it's supposed to come out this year, hopefully there's more information that comes out, maybe a nice little trailer or something, because I am intrigued. I would really like to see that. Alright, I'm gonna do a few more frames of this and I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm tired. Probably gonna have myself a drink and go to bed. Perhaps a nice glass of scotch. Yeah. Why not? Or tea. Depends on how I feel. Tea or scotch. Or what the hell, maybe I'll have both. Not at the same time, but, you know. That would be maybe weird. Or not, I don't know. Alright, this will probably be my last frame. At least, I mean, we made it kind of far. At least I'm up to the part where his hands are starting to come up, where he's really getting into that laugh. Dang it, Blacktail. Dang it. Taking so long to make. Oops. Alright. There's a little pause over here. And let's just see how this looks. Nice. Oh, I just gotta erase this part. And I don't know how I got that over there. So now, I'm gonna save it again. Keep saving it. Alright, perfect. I think that looks okay. I think that looks okay. And then eventually, it's gonna be actually, hold on, because you can't really... Yeah, there we go. Because he's eventually gonna start coughing. He laughs too hard. I mean, this is the sketched version. And yeah, this is what I mean. I'm like hardly dented it. Yeah. Once I get to that quaffing part, that's gonna be a lot of drawing, because that's just literally no copy paste, none of that. Just draw frame, draw frame, draw frame. Especially with just to get that movement in the hair. While he's like jolting his head. Alright, I'm gonna hit save. Alright, I think that's it for me. I'll probably work on this some more tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed. At least you could get an idea of what I do when I create this stuff. And yeah, have a good night, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.